All right, this is Slugblaster, our first session. We've made characters off screen and we're going to introduce them in a second here. But first, let's introduce the players. So I'm Gabriel. I use he, they pronouns. I'm running the game. I make a bunch of games, and this group has played a few other campaigns, but this is a very different tone. So this is going to be really fun coming from the dark and brooding between to the bright and flashy Slugblaster. Um, let's go around in order of the character keeper. So we'll start with the chill and tell us your name pronouns and then your just briefly the playbook that you've picked and
Awesome.
maybe like what that playbook is, what you look like, and what your signature is, if that's cool.
Yeah. I'm Skye. I use she, they pronouns. I'm in the same house as Gabriel Robinson, so hopefully you won't hear us at the same time. I'll be playing the chill, um, which just means I am gonna be mellow and going with the flow. And sorry, was there anything else that you wanted me to say about?
Character name
Oh,
and
and my
pronouns.
character's name is Ramona, and Ramona uses she, her pronouns.
Cool. And then do you want to mention your signature?
Oh, sorry. Yes. My signature is that I have a Voidwear backpack.
Cool.
Um, the back-breaking sport of shoulder hoarding was transformed by Myper's iconic, ubiquitous Voidwear backpack, which uses stolen proprietary shipping technology to allow you to carry the contents of your bedroom in a simple one-pocket cinch.
This is great. I feel like we're going to start by mentioning a bunch of weird technobabble jargon, and it will eventually come together into whatever slug blasting actually is. So that's awesome.
It's like way bigger on the inside. That's
Yeah,
what I want to say about
nice.
the Voidwear backpack. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
My name is Logan. I'm he, him pronouns.
you're a
The
little
grit.
fuzzy
Oh,
in the
sorry,
audio.
shoot.
Sorry.
Oh man,
There we
there
go.
we
There you
go.
go.
Better? Yeah, that's
Yep.
just what it is. I got to move it forward.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Logan. He, him pronouns. I am the grit playbook. I work hard. I do things over and over till I get them right, and I take a lot of punishment doing it. And my signature is going to be the Rift Ninja sneakers, which are going to allow me to phase in and out of the astral plane to become sneaky and walk up walls and do all sorts of cool athletic things.
Nice. And your character's name is Noah.
Oh, Noah Vale. Yes, correct. Man, you keep listening to that
Cool.
name.
Cool. Cool. Knows he, him as well. I think cool. All right. All right. And then we have Dyan with the guts.
Yeah, so I'm Dyan, they, them, and she, her pronouns for myself, but the person I'm playing is Elle, although their parents call them Ella. They use they, them pronouns. And the guts is, yeah, just very much about confidence, well, reading this, confidence, boldness, sass, and chutzpah. Very much into just going the biggest possible, fastest possible, also most dangerous as possible as I can be.
Mhm.
Um, my signature. I changed this actually over our break, so
Mhm.
surprise for everyone. Is the kinetic deck. Basically, I can make it super heavy, make my board super heavy at will. It can go fast over solid terrain. Um, and I also have proximity lock on it. So if I like throw it or something, or if someone takes it, I can get it to return to me, if at all possible. Um, was there? Oh, and what I look like, I guess my look
Mhm.
is very DIY, chipped nail polish, like big black zip off cargo pants and like
Mhm.
a baby tee sort of vibe. Very much a hot mess and has a whole bunch of stick and pokes, like mostly on my thighs that I did to myself, but also like probably any of my friends who are up for it and willing probably have a few on them too.
Nice. Yeah, well, if we didn't cover anything in this short intro, we'll get to, more of your style and vibe, and I'm sure we'll get a lot more of that too as we go along. Then we have Akie with the smarts. Muted.
And
Muted.
I'm here, Akie Vermees, he, him, pronouns. I am playing the smarts. They're smart. And my character's name is Allston Brigadier Bentley Booth, aka Booger. Also he, him. Uh, what can I say about Booger's vibe? He wears all black. Because he's a big Steve Jobs head. He's like all black with the turtleneck, the whole Steve Jobs look. But also a lot of chains, but all the chains are like thumb drives, jump drives, and USB-C cords and stuff that have been like they have like the lanyard stylings to them. They sort of look like cool boxes and covers and stuff. And then also Booger wears glasses, but then on top of his glasses, when he really wants to throw down, he's got some like blue lens goggles. So they like puts them on over the glasses. My signature move is Robot Tick Companion. I have it's a sort of a hovering companion drone thing that sometimes perches on my shoulder. I think it goes by Sneeze. I'm pretty sure that is an acronym, but we'll figure out what that is along the way.
Booger and Sneeze.
Booger and Sneeze. And I think that's it for
Sweet.
Allston / Booger. Yeah.
Oh, that's its own cartoon series right there.
Booger and Sneeze.
Awesome. We will learn a lot more about these characters as we jump in. I realize I could have started with reading the introduction to the game, but I'd like to let other people talk. I don't want to start by just reading from a book. But now that we've started to talk about weird things like slug blasting and robot companions and void backpacks and riftwear sneakers, here's a little blurb about what Slugblaster is in the world that we're going to be playing in. Welcome. In the middle of nowhere, surrounded by wheat and canola, is the small town of Hillview. It doesn't have a mall. It doesn't have a movie theater. It doesn't have a turbo taco or a music venue or a liquor store your aunt doesn't work at. What it has is a gas station, a curling rink, 14 churches, a privately funded particle energy physics lab that employs half the town, and some of the thinnest space-time fabric on the planet. Thin enough for a growing underground culture of bored teenagers to slip into the vibrant planescape of exotic worlds just beyond. They call it slug blasting. It's dangerous, it's stupid, it's got parent groups in a panic, and it's the coolest thing ever. So solder up your ray gun, print some Hasware in your dad's garage, grab your hoverboard, and watch out for meta-terrestrials as you try to make a name for yourself in the highly competitive punk rock world of interdimensional action sports. This is Slugblaster, a tabletop RPG about teenagehood, giant bugs, circuit bent ray guns, hoverboard tricks, and trying to be cool. So that's the world we're jumping into. You're in the middle of a very boring town. Hillview, named not because it's up on a hill, but because it has a view of a hill somewhere else. Everything's drab. Like I described, there's tons of churches. There's this big factory. There's just nothing of real interest to a bunch of teenagers. I guess we didn't specify your exact age. Tone-wise, are we solidly teenagers? Are we slightly younger? Are we young adults?
I think I'm about 17.
Okay.
I like the range of like 14 to 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Booger's
That's cool.
probably 15 going on 16.
Cool.
I was probably like, yeah, 16 going on 17, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think Ramona, who I've decided is affectionately called Mo only by close friends.
Mhm.
I think Ramona also is 16 going on 17 too.
I love how, now we're all in like the 30s and 40s and things like that. And but very specifically, the difference between 15, 16, 17, and 18 are just so absolutely massive.
Huge. We're running the
Yeah.
gamut here. I just got to high school. It's horrifying.
Yeah, it's the real horror. It's not the interdimensional rifts you're about to jump into. It's, life as a teenager. I think so. We're all new to this game. We're definitely going to stumble through, play as we go, and I think it'll be fun. We've done some basic character sheet introductions, but I would love to just jump in and meet the characters as if we were seeing the start of this show that we're going to create together. We're going to get to a short run this session and then probably wrap up and get to downtime later. But I think it'll be fun to see a little scene from your character as they get ready, as they go to meet their friends. You're all about to jump into a portal. There's slang for all this, which I don't remember. We'll probably make it up. Whatever you call it when you open a portal. So maybe 30 seconds, a couple minutes at most. Just give us a fun little snapshot, whatever you want to add about your character's vibe, whatever they're getting up to. What do we see on screen? Whoever feels like jumping in first, go for it.
Okay, so Noah is underneath a machine performing some repairs. He's cursing, he's slipping back his black hair, and he is kind of hitting the sides. Looks like he's like in a mechanic shop or something. But then after the third hit, he just says, and then he hits it for the third time. You hear a whoop, 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 whoop. And he comes out from under it. It's an arcade machine of Pac-Man. And he comes out from under the machine at Dan's Arcade-O-Rama, which is not in fact an arcade, but a small room in the back of the gas station that was previously mentioned. But it is all that Hillview has for an arcade. And Dan, employs him to a reasonable degree to keep up these couple of arcade machines that there are, maybe 4 or 5. So he gets done, he walks over and just says, all right, Dan, back up for another day. And then I say, pay up. And then he tosses me a Snickers and I walk out the door.
Amazing. Solid lunch right there.
Around the back of said gas station, Ramona is standing with one jankoed leg up against the wall, and reclining on the wall. She is rolling a joint into a bad report card that she does not want to show her parents. And she has her dog, whose name is Snacks. The leash is around her other ankle, and Snacks is licking Kool-Aid off the bottom of her Vans, from when she tried to make it and spilled it earlier. She kind of kicks at the leash a little, not kick Snacks, just kicks at the leash to get him to stop. Snacks, cut it out, cut it out. And she's rolling this joint and trying to hide that from some sort of a security guard from school that pulls up in his Bronco. So she kind of puts the report card joint behind her back and waves to them and says, "Hey, Miss Markley," um, and then goes back to rolling the joint as soon as Miss Markley goes inside of the gas station. and pops a big bubble of bubble, well, blows a big bubble and then pops it on her face, and gives Snacks a little scritch behind the ears.
Above that.
Yeah, I think L is a little bit further afield. Actually is somewhere nearby, like their whatever like equivalent to a gymnasium or something that they have. Their like school is like locked up or whatever, and you see them like picking the lock of the school to like basically get in, and like you see them running in and like with their board and actually just like using whatever sort of like if there's basketball hoops or whatever else to like try to defy gravity using like their using Hillview School. That's where they broke into. Yes. And they're like going and like running towards the basketball, like the pole that holds it up and trying to like skid up it. And like like going too far one time, like falling backwards, and there's like their board hitting them in the stomach, and like just like doing that over and over, and like doing whatever other things around the gymnasium that they're like, just for the sake of going in somewhere that they're not supposed to be, and fucking around.
Love a training montage. Um, that's great. I'm going to.
Oh, we didn't hear from Booger.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but she's
How
looking at
could
the
you
books.
forget about
People
Booger?
overlook the smarts. The most
Oh,
important.
Booger. That's fine. It makes sense because Booger is en route.
Mm.
I neglected to mention that Booger comes from a very wealthy family that's very large and is indeed often overlooked. He's like the third middle child of five or something. Uh, but he's in the back seat of a large black SUV with like two laptops on either leg and like an iPhone and a watch, like two jailbroken androids. Um, he does have his like elbow pads, wrist pads, knee pads, and ankle bracers on. He's like very safe and ready to do some stuff. But mostly, if you were to like zoom around and look and see what's on the various screens, he is in the process of writing simultaneously two different like book reports for two different people. And as the car pulls up into the parking lot, he finishes both, sends them off in an email requesting payment, and then hops out of the car and thanks the driver and sees, I guess, probably sees Ramona there in the parking lot. And he'll click his heels together so that his holographic rollerblades enact, and he will roll across the parking lot to Ramona, shoving the two computers into a bag with a bunch of other tablets and things inside of it.
Great. I was about to ask if one of those reports was like for hire, and yeah, perfect.
They're both for
Makes
hire.
sense. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
Save the best last.
That's right. Sorry, I was trying to find the wherever it might describe how opening a portal might look or how it works, and I don't have an idea. So we're gonna cut to that actually. I'm gonna mention the where you're going for your first run here, and then I'm very curious to get a sense of what that looks like with all of your powers combined and all of our made up um, portal technology. Um, it's kind of like this Radio Shack sci-fi kind of vibe is what I'm getting so far. We'll find out what that looks like. Um, so for your first run, you're going to, I'm gonna say maybe you figured out how to get there before. You know you can definitely get to this plane, this world called Vastiche, which is sort of this these badlands kind of pretty empty after some chemical war in the past. There's crumbling parkades, faded billboards, um, kind of ruins and sand and uh, strange colored yellow sky. It's this dry, jagged landscape where the air smells like chlorine and tastes like artificial sweetener. Um, but you're going there because you've been hearing word on the street that there is an abandoned mega mall almost entirely covered over with dunes of pink sand. And not only is that an incredible place to capture yourselves on video doing some sweet runs and new tricks, but there's probably a bunch of stores that are kind of barricaded in there with unclaimed prizes and gear and components that you might be able to uh, pick apart and customize yours with. So if you can get there first, you might really find something useful, something special before other crews do. Um, we haven't decided what type of crew you are yet. We're going to kind of learn that from what emerges here, except that you are nobodies currently on the fame track. No one knows who you are. There's different like Slugblaster factions out there. There's people that are famous for different reasons, and we'll get to that. And maybe you'll get there yourselves. Um, but just as we see you all come together, I'm gonna pass the scene back to you. Role play as you want, but I want to know like what this looks like as you all open a portal here, headed for Vestige.
So if everybody's okay with it, I think that what I would like to offer is that this is probably my first run with you guys, and that this is maybe you guys know each other from school, but I'm relatively new to the area over the past 4 or 5 months. And I'm the quiet kid in school. I am absent frequently. I leave early. I don't have friends. I don't have anybody. And I've recently just approached you guys to try to join your crew here for whatever reason, which is also kind of strange because I'm older. I don't smile, sort of thing. But so we can play that out or not. But I just kind of wanted to get that vibe on board if everybody's cool with it.
I like the idea of maybe like we I don't know, like what do you guys think about us all like being relatively new start like together if we're newbies also like maybe we've been going separate to different things and maybe like we're coming together for this because it's a little bit more of a something someone talked about it in school and we were like or like one of our friends mentioned it or something and we were all interested and that sort of brought us together.
I like the idea that there was a sign up somewhere for like a new crew and it was like being passed around a particular library book that like only the right kind of people would be checking out this library book, but there was like a note in the back of the library book that one of us started that was basically like it was like had some sort of like stick figure drawings and was like join the cool new crew, you know, 3 spots left and like check here if you want to meet up and on this date at this place. Um and
Where are we meeting?
so I like the idea that maybe we don't know I mean obviously one of us did start it, but the others who signed up don't really know who the originator was.
Yeah, and I assume we're meeting up behind Dan's Arcadio Radio Potato.
Cool. Yeah.
I think this new place, Vastiche, is a place that we've been hearing about, and I think we were like, this would be a good place to make our mark as a new crew, maybe, starting off strong. And I feel like Booger would have been doing his research. After all, he does have this multiverse map that he's trying to make. And so he's got pretty good idea of where Vastiche might be. And as for how we like open a portal, that's a great question. I feel like Uh, I feel like it's just like some tech we had to steal from our parents or something from the factory that
Yeah.
one of us might have.
So I come out the back door of the gas station slash arcade, and see you guys kind of there, and I see you pouring over your map, and maybe beeping and booping and things like that, and I come out and I just pull out my backpack and unzip it, and I say, I got the chips. And I just say, you really think you know what you're doing here, Allston? I mean, I just can't bring myself to call you Booger Man. I don't know. Shoot, it's weird.
Well, you call me whatever you like. Uh, I'm fine with Allston. I don't love it. Booger is my chosen name, my nom de guerre, if you will. And yes, if you've got the chips, I've got the hardware, my friend, and we can begin exploring the land of Vestige.
Uh, Wait, do I smell herb? Did somebody just light up here?
Not me. I keep
Uh,
my temple clean.
Ramona takes her head out of like a bag of Cheetos and is like, yeah, sorry, did you need something? Someone said they brought chips. I do have Cheetos, and like hands the bag towards you both.
I just
Oh
turn
shit,
around.
Cheetos! Like Ella's like comes riding through, very much late, very much not going to acknowledge that except for the Cheetos, and like grabs the whole bag, circles around you guys and stops. It's like, oh fuck yeah! Oh, I'm so hungry. You guys are on time. This is great.
If we're gonna get big, if we're gonna get sponsors, we can't be high, and we also can't be vomiting up a bunch of orange shit on our first run. And I snatch the Cheetos out. It's like, this is for after. And,
I don't
and
know.
Yeah.
I think that could get us some pretty hilarious views. That like, I feel like we could make it big that way. That's one way, you know?
Snacks growls at you when you do that. And I pick Snacks up. Snacks is like one of those little yip yip fluffy terriers that's like groomed with the big floppy ears and looks at you with these big eyes, and I just hold Snacks and I'm like, "It's all right, Snacks. He'll pay." And I kind of like give you like a very like joking and friendly grimacing stare.
I just say, oh, all right. I'm sorry. I'm not in charge here. We're here. You're right. You're right. I give you back the Cheetos. I'm like, feel free to light Vastiche up with your gastric juices. And then I just turn over to Ramona and I say, you got the gear and the camera stuff and everything like that.
Yeah, and I open up my backpack and I'm like, just throw them in there, if you don't mind, like the Cheetos.
Yeah,
Do we see anything when your bag opens?
Um, I think a light. I think there's like a bit of light that shines out. Also, let's officially, since you said feel free to make up snack brand names,
Mm.
let's just call them uh uh Grados, rather than
Kratos.
Cheetos.
They're
They're
Grados.
Grados. Um, but yeah, this when I say just throw them in here and I open up my backpack, which it's just like one of those cinch, like it cinches and then it's got a little magnet clip and it looks like just different colored denim kind of like kind of the I literally had a bag like this in the 90s, so it's sort of got like a floral pattern on the front flap, but then like there's sort of panels of other colors of denim. But as you open it up to throw the Grados in, um, like a light shines at you, but not like there's a flashlight. Like literally there's like a light like 40 feet away, but inside of this
Mhm.
bag. So not a bright and blinding light, but just like someone literally turned the light on in a dark room. light.
Yeah,
When you open your
another room
bag,
within it.
I think Booger is. This has maybe happened only a couple times, but he knows something's up with your bag, but can't quite figure out what it is exactly, and just kind of like tries to surreptitiously kind of like look in the bag to see what's going on there. But you're always so sort of like flippant about how you open it and throw stuff in that he can't quite get like
Yeah.
the readings he wants or whatever. But anytime you
If
open
I
a bag,
notice if I notice Booger do that, I'll be like, yeah, it's a voidware.
yeah, but where did you get the voidware?
Uh,
Dude,
well,
I
don't
don't mean to
ask where people
pry.
got shit.
No,
What the
you're right.
fuck?
Totally right. Totally right. Very cool. My bad. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Absolutely cool. You got it wherever you got it, and I got my stuff where I got it. The Grados are in the bag. We've got the chips. I've got the tech. We've got an open parking lot, and maybe we should skedaddle.
Yeah, especially before Miss Markle comes back out. She'll knock on
Uh,
us.
Holy shit. Markless is here? Okay. Yeah, we should make a move.
I pass just kind of in solidarity. I like pass the last little drag from my joint to Elle if they want it. And then I after you take a drag if you want one, or if you don't want
Definitely.
one,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I put it out on the bottom of my van. And I say, yeah, Miss Markle might narc, or this guy might narc, and I like point at Noah. Again, like just laughing.
I just say, believe you me, I've partaken in my time, but somebody's got to make sure we get back in one piece, okay?
Touche, mon frere, touche. So, and I think Booger breaks out some stuff and puts his hand out for the chips, please. If you got the chips.
Thanks.
Yeah, I click them open and I hand you the bag of Lay's.
Okay, very cool. And then I think there's some device that Booger has, some sort of let's call it a trans realm just splitter source splitter, trans realm source splitter. Yes,
One moment, wait. So what I did literally mean potato chips, but actually I'm
know.
gonna but even better. I love the idea.
I was thinking
So
that same thing too.
slug blasting is becoming a thing, and so Lay's potato chips has a thing where they have a little chip in it that will get you to Vastiche, which is like the opening slug blaster like location or whatever. And it's just like, hey, every one of these, every 31 of these has a chance to have a chip that will enable your portal gun to get to Vastiche. And so we dig around in the Lay's potato chip bag, and in fact, there is a chip.
Boom.
Blaze,
Great.
Blaze potato chips.
Blaze
Blaze.
potato chips. Swear. Blaze.
That actually explains why Vastiche, part of why you're going there is it's kind of got a reputation, like the environment kind of sucks. It's this chemical wasteland, but it's relatively easy to get to. There's no like commercial interest in it. It's very casual and it's a good like beginner place because most people think there's nothing really there worth going to. You happen to have caught this rumor that there's this whole buried mall. So you're hoping to get in there before other people catch on. But maybe that's part of it too, with this sort of like slug blasting intro branding thing of you get a chip that like it's like maybe it's a QR code kind of thing where it's like, hey, you plug this chip into your device and this has already got the coordinates for Vastiche. I'm gonna hand wave a lot of that. But basically reality's thin. You all have devices that let you surf through space-time portals one way or another. And I think each time we do it, maybe we can build on uh whatever techno babble you want to add, whatever devices you want to bring into the equation.
Right.
Unless you had more thoughts on that, Akie. I just wanted
Well,
to.
I thought I'd use the source splitter. This is not necessarily how it's supposed to be used, but it makes a temporary boundary and allows us to go through. We just all have to be ready to run. I'm not sure how stable it will be, nor for how long.
Is this one of your okay?
Uh, I mean, just checking, but like, do you want the support of my reality ray?
Uh, yes, any support would be most helpful.
Um, I think the reality ray literally looks a like a shaver, like an electric razor. Because it's just like a long handheld thing that when you switch it on, it goes like, but like then a beam of laser comes out of it, like a flat 1 inch or 2 inch long beam ray.
Mhm.
And ultimately, like Ramona uses this just to scan before she's gonna try any sort of slug blasting, just to scan for seams in the fabric of reality.
I'm gonna say the combination of your devices is just going to kind of yeah, the air shimmers. You find this sort of seam and it kind of starts to separate and wave. Um, and you have an opening. Basically, the way this works, there's these rifts are very temporary. They usually only last a few seconds. Um, so generally, creating a portal, you need uh, your sort of hoverboard or backup portal device. Um, Ooh, an action roll. That's fun. So I think we're gonna do our first roll here, and then that will help set up, I think, how we arrive there.
And we can find the rules on the
I've
rules
got the rules
on
pulled
the
up right
rules
here
tab.
on one of my things. Not to worry. Looking at the rules right now.
So it
What kind of
sounds
roll?
well, it sounds like either Booger or Ramona is making the roll. It sounds like maybe Booger
Oh,
with
it's Booger.
okay.
I'm just assisting. I'm assisting with the reality ray.
Sounds good. Okay, so we're opening a portal. This is us figuring it out. So you start with one dice to attempt the
Sweet.
roll.
Copy that.
Um, and then abilities can add dice to the roll, so you can um, either boost, which on the character keeper is the dice symbol, and that will add another dice to your pool. That will all of you have some of those available to start with. So under your attitude, for the smarts, you could describe how your smarts help your action. That might be one way to get that extra dice if you want. You can also spend kick, which basically increases the result of what you're trying to do. I don't think you would necessarily need to do that here. Um, the other thing you can do is use your signature device, which also has extra dice you can kind of mark.
Right. I might have to bring Sneeze out for this. So, all right, Sneeze, just like we ran into the simulations. You find the coordinates. I'll plug in the chips here. We find the right seams. Dial in the frequency. Okay. And we're matching the pattern, find the amplitude. And everyone keep your eyes out. Hold on to your butts. And hitting the switch now.
Amazing.
I just
Uh,
whisper, I whisper over to Elle. I'm like, somebody get this kid some decongestants. Damn.
I'm allergic to everything.
I can't wait to hear this voice for a whole
I'm
campaign. I love it.
allergic to myself.
Myself.
So Ramona's helping, so that Skye, is that marking your I don't know how
I
this
don't
works.
actually have the ability to help. It's more just thematic.
Well,
'Because it
y-
says that I can't share my plus 1d6 action with
uh,
teammates, but I just always have one when I'm doing it. So it's
got
really,
it.
I think it's really just that like
Thematic.
I'm
It
just
it does in the
thematically.
rules say that you can not your abilities or your traits, but it says you can always share your attitude and your like other stuff if you want to your boosts and kicks, as long as you can just like thematically say they work.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
mine's
chills,
like the one mine is like the one outlier to that, and it literally I don't have boost and kick. I just have this unlimited
you
plus
always
1d6.
get one.
Oh,
If you
you're
want
the
to,
chill.
yeah, if you want to
So
add one from your device, you can.
Yeah, I've added one
Oh.
from Sneeze.
you mean from my backpack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Why the fuck not? This is how we learn.
Yeah.
So I get to choose between boost is the dice and kick is the lightning bolt.
Yeah. So kick would increase the effect of what he's trying to do, which is open a portal. It just might be, I don't think we need that necessarily, but it could
I'm just
be
gonna do the extra
you open
dice.
at a more accurate location, I guess.
I'm just giving him an extra
Okay.
dice. Yeah.
Cool. So I guess that's 3 so far.
3
Can
days.
go see what happens.
I don't see why not. Here we go.
And yeah, I think that
Yep.
the thing that we were doing with the kick or talking about the kick, I think they would say it's kind of like a predetermined thing, kind of like Blades in the Dark, where you say, hey, if this succeeds, then this will happen.
Oh,
And then if
okay.
you add the kick, you say, well, I would like to kick it to also make this happen or to make what happened better. And then if we agree on that, then you make the roll, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. So if this goes well, Akie, what happens?
Well, I've already rolled. So
No,
I didn't realize this was a thing.
it's all
But
good. I
yeah.
think you described because you had the coordinates, so you're trying to open a portal, you're trying to get towards this place in
Trying to get as
Vestige.
close to the mall as
Yeah.
possible here
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Vestige. Well, I rolled a 6, a 3, and a 4.
Ooh. So the
one of
highest
them
is all that matters. So a full success.
sick. Go, go,
And
go, go, go.
First roll of the game and a
Yes.
success. Amazing. Oh yeah, and Elle is definitely the first one through, if at all possible.
Yeah.
They leaving everyone.
Follow. Yeah.
Just trying to look if there's any. I know a lot of the playbooks have things like you know, mark this when you do this. So if there's any things that trigger, just let me know. But otherwise, yeah, I think you all jump right through. The full 6, I think you find yourselves, again, as I kind of hinted at before, this strange yellow sky, swirling pink sands, this artificial sweetener kind of smell hits your nostrils. One thing I mentioned off camera is you all have masks because this is like a hazardous world because of that air, that atmosphere. And you find yourself on this overpass. I think you opened this, your coordinates were spot on. You didn't land right over the mall, but you are on this overpass looking down, I think, at a slight crater in the dunes. This overpass, it's like, picture I'm trying to think of like video games of big barren, desolate landscapes. It's like those ridiculously tall bridges for no reason in the middle of nowhere. It's this overpass. There's a bunch of abandoned cars rusting on it. And it just drops off. It just broken in the middle. You see the ruins of it below, and huge sand dunes sloping up towards you. And further in the distance, that indentation with maybe just the hint of like some antenna or some like uh, yeah, whatever satellite dish, let's say, that would have been at the very top of this mall, peeking up from the dunes. And so I'm learning this as I go, but I'm gonna say that this first sort of checkpoint, this is me putting an obstacle in front of you, and then you're all going to describe how you move past it, probably doing tricks, um, and going from there. Basically, you need to get down from this ridiculous height. There's all sorts of different sloping sand dunes. You can help me add to the description if that's a thing you're thinking of for your trick. If there's trailing rebar that you were going to skate off of, if there's gaps you want to jump over, if there's wires you might swing from, or that kind of thing. But basically, how do you get down from this height and get towards the mall?
So I think as soon as we get there, I just go, oh, hey, yeah, but Booger, right? All right, okay, Booger. Yeah, good job, man. We got here. All right. Well, let's maybe take a few opening shots, and we got to get some good tricks to start out with, right? All right. Cool. Let's kick up that camera, and who wants to take the first shot?
Just
Okay.
like ignoring you
Yeah.
completely, like
L is way below us already. Well, I've set up Sneeze to record, so Sneeze is sort of like tethered to me, sort of like a GoPro, but like in the air behind us. So I mean, do your best, man. Um, I'm kind of more of a take up the rear, see the lay of the land, come up with solutions by the time I get there kind of guy. So
While you've
So
been
you're gonna bust your ass. That's what you're saying.
I can neither confirm nor deny whether or not I will bust my ass.
while you guys are describing that, I've also like not hearing that Sneeze also has recording gear. I've been taking out my like little like camcorder with the flip cam thing and like a little tripod that I have with like a bendy arm so that you can position it in like a cool way. So I've been like taking that out and just like haven't even noticed that you're saying that your robot friend can do that too. Yeah, I've got the equipment. Did somebody want to do a trick?
I I look down and I just say, "Whoa, man, they're already way down there." And I just look down at Elle, and
Yeah, I heard L react first. I think it's pretty funny if L's almost already finished the first one while you're done. Should we see what's going on there?
Yeah.
yeah, I think Elle already had their flip phone camera phone thing that is like how it's like one of the ones that you can flip multiple directions, already
Oh,
had that
yes.
out before even going through and had like filmed going through the portal. It
Oh,
probably
nice.
doesn't show up on it probably like does some weird shit with the recording. But like so they were ready when they just started immediately going down. Like they did a let's see. Uh
You can use the trick
Chicken
generator.
salad. They did a chicken salad. I obviously know what I'm talking about here, but it's some sort of board grab as they started down. And like they're just like clearly like doing a bunch of things where they're like going back and forth as well and like trying to get as much air as possible to like make it really cool when they grab onto their board and then also turning on the kinetic deck part of it so that it like gets really heavy all of a sudden. So then it just like drops down and like does this really dramatic like skid, and so that the like pink sand goes like flying everywhere. And then as they reach the bottom, they like look back up, realize no one's behind them, and is like, are you guys coming? This was fucking sick.
Let's rewind a second and see what else the dice have to say about that. That's where you're going. Sounds very stylish. Sounds like you're doing a trick. So according to the rules, or one way to kind of like remind the table when you're doing a trick, you can say check it before rolling. So you did that already basically. If you're adding sort of flourish to your action, any problems that might happen are going to be worse because you're doing it, a more dangerous thing, but you mark extra style on a success. Just
Also,
to help
quick
me.
question.
Yeah.
What is the refill one attitude? Did we already discuss that? Or I think I also saw it on the Grit playbook. Is
So
that, yeah, sorry.
I believe when you mark it, it's like spent. And so you can do, when you do, for you, whenever you attempt a trick, even if you fail, you can like unmark it to get one of those dice back,
Oh, okay.
is
So
my understanding.
the like dice and the two boost the boost and the three kicks are like dependent on the attitude. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
so you always have those. You can just mark for extra dice, well, for extra boost or kick. Every playbook has a different arrangement of those. And then, yeah, it looks like they all have different things that let them refill it. So, like, get one of those back.
Awesome. Gotcha. So it's like
Um,
anything's in that bar, basically.
yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah. So to again help me talk through how it works, you're starting this trick, you get one dice because you're trying it. Um, you can add more dice by boosting it. You can also mark kick to increase the impact of it. So if you wanted to do something even bigger with this trick than what you described, you could go for that. And then also, I didn't see this before, someone may have mentioned it, but you can, there's a section on dares. So you can get an extra dice if you let me, the GM, take something called bite, which is sort of like, it's what I do normally anyway, like reactions, but it's a mechanically gives me a currency to like spend bite later and just like drop in extra complications for no reason. Um,
I'll take that. That sounds fun.
cool. Yeah, let's see what happens. Um, so two dice so far.
Yeah,
Um,
I
are
think
you
I'll hold
interested in?
off on using,
Okay.
although since I'm doing a trick, would it basically be like a null use of that dice because then it refills?
Um,
That's why I was a little
I th
confused.
I think that would be once it's already spent. So I think you can use it if you want to mark that too for more dice.
Right, but then do I get to unmark it immediately or do I unmark it next time I do a trick?
I
It
think you would
looks like
unmark
you
it next
unmark
time.
if you fail, or like you you refill one attitude if you fail
Well, so
your
that's
action.
mine. So
Oh, sorry, that's great.
remark if I fail, if she attempts a trick, but I think that what they're saying is like, well, you already have to have one marked in order to mark it
Yeah.
because otherwise
That makes
Sorry,
sense. Yeah, otherwise it's a little
I
bit
was
game
mixing up
breaky.
grit and guts.
I would
Amazing. I'll
add,
stick with two dice for right now.
sure,
Sorry.
just to give you one more option, because we haven't really done it. You did mention the kinetic something, and you have a kinetic deck, and your signature items also have boost and kick that you can mark. If you want to, but you can just go with
I think I'll just stick with two, see what
two.
happens. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I got a 4 and a 5.
All right, so on 4 and 5, mixed success, you do it, but there's a problem. Um, I'm just double checking if this game, pretty sure lets you decide to like redo things if you want to, but I don't remember. For now, I'm gonna say you do it as described, which I believe, do you mark style or something? You've done the trick, right?
Yeah.
So mark style wherever you do that. Um, the complication or the problem, I'm gonna introduce a snag, um, which is basically a twist or something that makes the situation more dangerous or complicated. You notice because you're the first down here, you're kind of like looking back up at them. You kind of get us a better view of the surroundings, um, or maybe you just like get a more full view, and you notice that in the distance there's looks like billowing um, pink purplish sand. Um, you've maybe heard about caustic storms, or maybe Booger's told you about these storms when researching Vastiche, but you can tell that there is looks like a fairly big storm brewing in the distance. It might take a little while to get here. You're not really sure how quickly it will approach. Um, but I'm gonna make a clock for that just for fun. Um, we'll say it's a clock of 4. So I've marked one of them. So if that gets marked 3 more times, this storm will hit. So you have a bit of a timer to like do your thing and get out, or at least get into that mall and take shelter.
I
Um,
think Elle probably then shouts up to the others that like hey, that cloud's gonna be cool for some footage, but we also might want to like get some cover at some point, like before it's actually over us, because that might like mess with the pictures, you know?
I like the fact that you're like shouting this up like 100 feet to us. Uh, and I just say, all right, no time like the present. And then I turn around and I just say, by the way, did I mention I am not a very good boarder? Yeah,
What?
I am working on it. And then
Yeah.
I take off my my jean jacket and I tie it around my face like a blindfold. And
Oh dear God.
I just say, but nothing gets views like a man sacrificing his body. And then I just put out my arms for balance and I just slowly like make my way down and I'm just gonna let gravity slowly take. I'm not going fast as hell, but I'm fucking just going for it.
Sounds good. Are you trying to do it? I get that's a trick. You're doing it blindfold. What am I talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's a
Uh,
trick.
are you kind of going to land on one of these big sloping sand dunes? Is that
So basically what I'm doing is I'm legitimately trying to just take the overpass straight down like on a normal route, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
gain speed, gain speed, gain speed, gain speed. And if I biff on something that happens along the way, I'm gonna biff on something that happens along the way. So it's
Sounds
not
good.
a fancy thing. It's just
It's
I'm
still
going fast and
dangerous.
I'm
Yeah.
blindfolded. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So and I'm not going to use anything on it. I'm going to go for a straight roll because that's my goal is sacrifice my body, baby.
Good
Amazing.
heavens.
I'll add description wise that I think what you've added fleshes that out better. I was picturing an overpass that just like dropped off, but I like that it sounds like there's the other section that's broken like at an angle. So you go, yeah, cool. So maybe you hop this little gap and you go down this angle.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll do that, and then I'll add a kick to it,
Okay.
and just say that maybe um, if it works out, then I unwittingly like go over some wild terrain and do some do some weird kind of footwork and dexterity stuff that I was not planning on doing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And maybe
Um,
it's a cool viral thing.
are you marking a kick on something or because I see here,
Yeah, I'll mark
is
a
that a
kick on
dare?
my
Okay.
just on my ad.
Okay. So one dice so far, is that right? And then you added a kick. Am I missing anything? Sorry, you're
Yeah,
muted.
you're muted.
Oh, yeah, just what I wanted. It's a 2.
Oof.
Okay. All right. Okay, on a 2, this seems appropriate. I think, I mean, especially as you described it, I think it's appropriate that you take a slam. Seems to be what the grit is all about. Um, what's that section? And now slams are lingering problems that directly affect your body, mind, spirit, or gear. Um, most of you have only 2 boxes on your sheet. I believe Noah has 3. Um, and they clear during the end of the run, but they might mess with you in the meantime. You do have the option of noping a slam. You can mark to trouble to say nope and cancel out what just happened here. Do you want to? Well, I'll describe it. You tell me what you want to do. I think that from Ramona and Booger's point of view, you put on this blindfold, you put your arms out, and you go down. And miraculously, for the first half of this, you're just kind of like tilting a little bit, and you're moving at the right angle. You're like almost sensing where to go. And then I think some maybe very edge of that storm, some sand kind of blows in and kind of brushes over your body, and like a little gust hits you, and you miscalculate. I think you hit a little bit of a bump and you go up and you lose your position in space. And for a second, you're like doing this Superman thing where you're just like gliding in the air head first. And I think you just go head first through the windshield of it's like a sideways van. You go right through a window and out the other one. So you just plow through 2 windows. Um, you can nope that if you don't want that to happen. We can describe
Nope,
it otherwise.
that's perfect. But my trait is that whenever I take a slam, I also get a style, and so I did not get style for completing the task, but it had the exact thing that I wanted, which is like, oh shit, what did he just do?
He survived that, yeah. So I think slam will just say you are, I guess say smashed. I mean, but I think that's like you smashed through glass. You've got little bits of glass stuck to you. Most of it in that jean jacket. Somehow you land and you like uh roll through the sand, but you make it okay.
You okay, dude?
Uh, yeah, I think so.
That was epic.
And I just turn over, I throw up the horns, and I just say, the name's Nova. Don't forget it, man.
He's cool.
Wait,
He's
his
cool.
name's Nova? I thought it
I
was
thought
Sky.
your name was Noah.
Shut up, man. It's while we're doing this, it's no.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
We're
Sweet.
calling him Nova now. It's cool. We're calling it.
Yeah.
Calling him
Wait,
Nova.
I want a
Please.
name.
Take it
I need
out.
one.
I honestly, Elle, cannot hear you. Can't really make out what you're saying from way down there.
It looks
But
cool though.
it
Like
does look sweet. Do you
Booger,
want to go
Booger,
next? What?
Booger, do one.
Do one, do one, do one. Okay. Check this out. And I think Booger walks up to the sort of the place where the thing broke, and Noah just sort of like sailed down blindly. And listen, hey, Booger's got a lot going on. He's smart, he's talented, he does a lot of cool things. I don't know if he's a daredevil like Nova. So he puts his goggles down, brings his mask up, checks all his pads, and then does that thing that like kickers do in the NFL. He like walks back 3 feet and then turns, then walks back another 3 feet. And he's got some sort of like heads-up display that allows him to he's trying to he's gonna kick out his things, he's gonna run to the edge, he's actually going to forget about boarding altogether and try to jump and just dive bomb directly down to where Elle is. And then land on his skates. Like,
Oh, nice.
toe pick style, cutting edge.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because you have their blades, right? Like they're
I've got sweet holographic blades.
holographic.
So they got some cool ass inertial dampeners or something.
They do. They also, the underside of them says hack the world. So
The camera's gonna catch that for sure when you do your
for sure. Sneeze knows to try to get a 360 slow motion as I'm.
Yep.
That's gonna be the attempt, and I really don't have anything to help do that because this is not my bailiwick.
We got a lot of stuff to help technically. So you have one dice for doing it. You can.
I guess I could say, well, using my heads-up display, there's a northwesterly wind. Obviously, you've got a caustic storm coming in from the South Pole. If I time the activation of my holographic blades to just the time and the polarity of the storm that's coming, it should allow me to traverse the slanted gradient of this broken highway in such a way that
dude.
Okay, fine, I'm jumping. But that'll be my techno babble.
Okay, wait. So just not to slow the action. So I want to make sure I track
this down.
You're gonna have to because I don't remember a word of it.
Oh, twice per run. What? Twice per
Yes.
run? You can explain something. Add. So you get one style and one d6 to a roll.
Yes.
So that's two of them. You can also add dice or a boost or kick from your signature, but also your attitude. If your smarts help you with this, you could totally justify that if you want to add boost or kick.
Interesting.
And also ask for dares.
I think the dare was Noah telling me to just go for it, and also Mo telling me to just go for it. This is not really Booger's thing, just going for it.
Elle also definitely yelled to just go for it, but you probably couldn't hear with the distance.
Yeah, can't really hear.
Do you want to add a dice for a dare or a kick? So a dice lets me add bite, or kick lets me introduce an extra problem suggested by you if you want to increase the effect of what you're doing. But you're
Gabriel,
just trying to get down there, so it's up to
I
you.
want to let you know today's your lucky day. Have some
Sweet.
bite.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm rolling one for the trick, one for the technobabble, and one for the
For
bite.
the dare, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Here we go. I only have two. That's 4, 5, and 5. 5's the highest.
Okay, nice. You do succeed as the part of the complication. I'm going to say that storm is getting closer. I'm going to mark another segment of that. So it's halfway here. Um, how is this different from what you've read about?
By research. My research said that the planet at this time of the cycle is relatively stable, no caustic
Mm.
storms,
Yeah.
and that the hidden ball is very easy to find. However, it looks like this ball may have been the victim of several caustic storms in the last few minutes and maybe a few days, and perhaps this is a much more dangerous situation than we originally thought.
Right. Makes sense. That leaves Ramona up there.
Ramona has been throwing Grados to Snacks on, like, Snacks has been walking along the edge of the overpass,
Mm.
like the side, and Ramona's been having Snacks catch Grados in the air, but Scoop Snack is up and grabs her board, tightens the straps on her backpack a little bit, um, puts Snacks um, between her feet, or between her knees, I guess, and just crouches down on the board, in a squat, and is just gonna try to, like, slow ride down, kind of like a grandma bowling move, but with on the skateboard. So just like in a squat, just like just slow slide down to meet everybody. And that's gonna be it. No trick about
No
it.
trick. Okay.
Just a good old granny squat.
Sounds
But
good.
but I will add 1d6 to that because I can add 1d6 to anything I do. Because I'm just sitting back,
You just chill. Yeah.
relaxing, just chilling.
Hmm.
Just me and Snacks.
As Ramona is coming down the hill, I think Booger, having turned around and successfully, he just goes, "She's so chill."
Do you want to roll with 2, or do you want to do anything else of the many
You can dare
options?
me.
Ooh, dares. I forget. I think that's players can do that too.
Okay. Anybody want to dare me?
I'm not sure. That was a question for me. Like I'm
Then
slow.
yeah, definitely. Elle is definitely gonna dare you and is gonna be like, Mo, oh my gosh, like, hey, like, what if you like did a kickflip while holding Snacks and then like grabbed your board just like right before you get to the end, like get some momentum.
I could see something like that. I think her version of that is going to just be that she's just gonna try to, like, uh kick back on the board at one point in time to just like get a little a little lift just at the end. She's not
Mhm.
gonna like do a full kick flip, but she's just gonna try to like do a little thing where at the very end they're going down like this and then they just go bloop. That's
Maybe
gonna
over
be
the
it.
broken glass where Noah had plowed through. Um,
Sure. Yeah.
cool. So you get an extra dice. That lets me take one bite. Um, I guess that counts as a trick. So hey, that everyone who's done a trick, by the way, make sure you're marking one style, I believe.
Is that I don't know where that is.
I'm looking on the do a trick part under the rules.
I think it's just that
It's
you
above your
mark a
traits,
style on a
there's a-
success.
Yeah, well, so if you decide you're going to do a trick, and if you succeed, then you get a star.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
If you
I'm
fail,
gonna
do you
say-
take one? Oh, sorry.
No, if you fail, then that means you like. So if you attempt a trick and fail, then something bad happens to you, like a slam or something else like that. Versus if you just fail without it, then like narratively just something not
Yeah.
so great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hey, somebody recording, check it.
Got
Go.
you.
Sneeze, go.
All right. We got a 5.
Okay. You do it, but there's a problem. So I think I was looking this up. Again, it's weird. It's different. This game has like currency for the GM, which I'm used to just doing that because I want to make it dramatic. But you do get there. As you described, you catch it on camera and everything. I think what's stylistic about this too is it's like it looks like you're not bothering to do anything, and then you do that little jump just at the right moment to clear all the broken glass, and it's effortless, and you come down minimal effort. I think, well, number one, the storm, like it's you haven't really caught on to this early. It was like approaching is getting closer, but it's just gathering speed, and this is like you all are just barely able to rush to the top of the roof of this mall where there's like a barely propped open door just in time as this caustic storm hits. You kind of hear, yeah.
Can I say, guys, on my way down?
Oh, to trigger your thing. Hold that real quick to make sure I'm getting the rest of this consequence. That
I don't know what it does other than just that I notice stuff.
actually that's perfect because I was going to yeah, that will work. You will notice something that others don't on the way in.
Cool.
So this is number one. The storm arrives, meaning you're gonna have to take shelter here for a little bit, which you wanted to anyway. It's just unclear how long that's gonna be. But you hear like metal shredding, pieces of these rusted cars coming off in the storm. Um, and you all, it's like you're entering Moria, right? The door slams shut behind you. I assume your various gadgets have different lights that flicker on however you want them to. Um, even if it's like infrared or whatever that looks like, you're able to see.
We're like panting and covered in
Mhm.
sand and everything like that, and the door shuts with my back to it, and I just scoop my butt down to the ground, flip open my phone for the life, and then just say, Booger, I thought you said that this time of year everything was going to be safe.
Okay, well, my research was based on hearsay. I scrabbled it together. Perhaps what they meant was this time of year is safe, maybe inverted to the time of year that it would be
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
on
It
our
took us
planet.
exactly 3 minutes to have to take shelter from certain death. Okay. All right, but we got the flicks. Everybody doing okay?
Like, yeah, fuck yeah. But like, I sort of want to see what's happening out there. Like, do we want to just like peek the door a little bit?
I would highly recommend against that.
To do
if
it?
I
Yeah,
may.
isn't it? Oh, against.
No,
wait,
against,
wait,
yeah.
fuck it. Ramona, fire up your camera. Elle, I dare you to go out in the storm. I dare you.
Fuck
Okay.
yes.
I'm gonna cut in here before you all meet your certain doom. Because Skye did mention Ramona using the hey guys trait. So I think this is perfect as there's this rapid back and forth, like,
It's
fine, we
called,
do it.
Guys, not hey
Oh,
guys,
sorry.
but
Um,
guys.
Guys?
So Ramona, you accidentally notice something that no one else did. That last one there, it suggests hidden panels, perfect skate spots, or looming monsters. And I think that Ramona notices as you first come in through this door, you're at like maybe you're at a abandoned office room that would be at the very top of the mall, and it's got like glass windows that are looking down on like a retail floor or something like that. And there's been kind of settling trash and bits of metal and broken furniture that's settled under your feet. But Ramona, you notice that even after you all have stopped moving, it starts shifting again. And there's pieces of metal on the walls that kind of start to turn and shift and like move up a bit, almost like shells, and they start to rotate in little metal legs kind of start to poke out and start to inch their way down, clacking. um, you've again, maybe Boogers mentioned this, maybe other Slugblasters have mentioned this before, but these are salvage crabs. And so, like their smaller, cuter, exponentially less deadly relative, the hermit crab, this species of metadecapod relies on the exogenous shelter system to protect its soft, terrifying body. Um, so
This is no Gabriel.
I know it's a perfect monster for me.
Crabs in the first episode. Crabs,
And
crab
you saw that
cakes.
you saw that crab's license plate today.
I
So
did. It's a license
really
plate said
perfect.
crab time.
Even on a desert planet, we're getting attacked by
In my
crustacean
defense, the
horrors.
book actually does say that this pastiche, salvage crabs were in possible danger. But we will
How
we will
big
leave
are
it on
these
the
salvage crabs?
they are, I'm going to say small dog size, but I'm going to leave this on a cliffhanger here for time. 'Cause I work early, but I'm going to say that Ramona notices them first, kind of detaching themselves from the walls, and that's going to be some kind of situation for you all to face next time, either to escape them or blast them, or we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna say that it's not me who notices. It's actually Snacks
Oh, nice.
sniffing, and then all of a sudden starts doing the little yip yip bark that and I'm like, Snacks, what is it, buddy? And I'm like, you want another Grado? And like I like take out a Grado to throw to him and he keeps yipping, and then we see the so are they like mechanical crabs, sort of?
Sorry, I'm gonna revise one thing. It is one crab. It's
One
a
crab.
big old crab. But it's instead of like a hermit crab with a shell, it's using big chunks of metal. So I think it actually somehow it's almost like a VW bug. It's just like the hollowed out metal shell of a car
Oh my
that's
God.
got down here and like legs are coming out of it. So
It looked like it was just a VW bug missing its
yeah, that it
wheels.
just like
But
fell down against the
the
side of the wall.
reason that
Yeah.
Snack starts barking is because there were little antennae that stuck out from underneath it, and
Yeah,
then
and limbs
and all the
and
other legs.
pincers.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Oh, I
Nightmare
like
stuff.
that. I like that Stranger Things moment there. Like, I dare you to go out in the store. You're like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. And then like you just hear it crash, and then all of our lights turn on and just move over to this. And
Yeah,
then it just
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of zooms out on us as our faces go.
Perfect. Exactly. Music drops. Yeah, that's our episode. We will pick up in the middle. You're still on your run. So you still got more obstacles and treasures to find, I'm sure, and great footage to catch. This could be some amazing tricks and however you get past this thing. Um, but for time's sake, I have to cut there. Let's go to stars and wishes. Who wants to jump in first?
Stars to this whole fucking thing. Yeah. I really love the interplay of these characters. It's definitely giving me the Goonies slash Breakfast Club slash Jurassic Park vibes. Like I love that our spread of ages is like would be 90s appropriate for a sticky movie. Like everyone is represented. You know, you got the like 14-year-old, you got the 17-year-old who's like I feel like I love Noah Vale's the big brother in Goonies, Josh Brolin. kind of vibes. Um, L completely tearing off and cursing at everybody is super fun after Dyan has been his burns for so long. And yeah, I kind of love Mo's weird stoner vibe. And I love that we all did like crazy tricks, and then Mo was like, I'm actually just gonna kind of like sled down on my skateboard, but it's gonna look the coolest because it's so effortless. Uh yeah, I'm very excited for there's a lot of interaction here between the characters, which I expected, but I'm also thrilling to be part of it. Wishes, I don't know. I also star/wish. Um, I'm so glad that we decided this was like our first mission together or whatever, because it feels like this has it has that sort of like sensation of we don't quite work well together yet. We're not really a cohesive group. It's kind of leading to certain stuff. The inverse of the relationship between Noah and Booger and the Doctor and Pigman is
Oh my
also
God,
very
yeah.
enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of.
Big old star to Booger's voice.
And anytime I get to use the Booger voice, yeah.
Um, when recording my Green Beat series and having to do kid vocals, may have mentioned this, but like I always did one take that was sick kid voice, which was basically Booger's voice. So it's just really fun to sing like a kid who's a little bit stuffed up. And so anyway, it makes me think of that. Um, big stars too. I just really like Elle's just like jump in spirit again, especially following the character that you played in the between. I kind of can't get enough of like your enthusiasm and cheer, I guess. Because Burns was so different. And then also stars, I like that Noah's a little hard to read, like kind of like, okay, come on guys, let's kind of playing dad a little bit, but then also still like Daredevil tying the shirt around his eyes blindfold. So it's like, oh, okay. All right, cool. And also again, your thing says you're in a Canadian suit, which I don't think you described to us necessarily.
Sorry, Canadian tuxedo, just jean jacket and jeans.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was
I
either.
love that.
I also thought it was a tuxedo or whatever. I thought it
I
was
think
like a full suit.
specifically in the 90s, it was jean shirt, jean pants, jean jacket was the Canadian tuxedo. Just
Okay,
full
cool.
G.
All right. Well,
That's true,
that
but
that only further underscores my he's cool. He's cool. Um Yeah, I think I will agree with Akie, and definitely I think just a general wish is just going to be seeing the characters develop. I like that you guys were into the suggestion of the like note in the back of a library book. That is what got us all together. So I think another curiosity that I have is like that maybe figuring out who was it who actually put out the call slash, you know, do any of us already have existing bonds that we are, you know, not discussing? But anyway,
I'll throw that as a future wish because we will discover what type of crew you are and that there's all kinds of bonds and faction stuff we haven't even looked at. So I think that is a great thing to come back to for sure.
yeah, I mean, I'll echo the stars. So cool to see everybody doing different things than between, you know, obviously like I played a couple things with Akie here and there, and of course kind of Gabriel for a long time, but the end just like the stark contrast. It's hilarious and amazing, and also you know there's something that I'm really enjoying about this system and the way that everybody is, where it's like, hey, this is an approachable thing. Everybody knows how to act this part, and it goes really, really well. You know, we've seen it time and time again. It's not like this is some weird new thing. You know, I've never lived in Victorian London before and hunted supernatural beings. I've also never gone to Bastiche and done this, but I can feel like a teenager tried to explore this, and it's easy, right? You know, so that's a super cool thing. And of course, hey, Booger's amazing. Gus is amazing. Hi, Ramona is amazing, and you know, I love that everybody just jumped on the snacks and weed train right away, and just like boom, immediate vibes. Great. So that was fantastic. And then you know, hey wishes. I think everything's a wish. I'm super stoked for everything. And the only thing extra is it's not a wish, but it's going to happen. I'm excited to see the vibe of everybody and then not in skateboard mode.
Yeah, that downtime will be super interesting to see. Looking forward to that too.
The Slugblaster version of the vulnerable move, I think, is going to be fun to explore.
Yeah, thirding or fourthing that. I'm really excited to see that as well. Huge Star is just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be in this world with y'all. It's so different and it's very, very fun. Yeah, Star is all the new characters. Oh my goodness. Like also Booger's name, like just go like I love all of your like name choices are great. And also Noah Vale's name. And like Ramona is such a like brings such a specific vibe to me, especially like you know, Scott Pilgrim and everything like that as well. Like I'm like immediately getting such a yeah, and loving how different we all approach doing tricks. I think that's going to be really fun to see more of. So I guess a wish there. And also Gabriel, like the already the world that you're making and the what's it called? The in this, I don't remember what it is, but basically the problems that are coming up, you know, with the like crab being and the storm clouds and everything. Like these are, it's like just so great. It's just so fun how you make problems with us. Like that wasn't the right way to put it, but you guys get what I mean.
No,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Actually, also like one other thing, like a passive star to Skye, where I feel like in this system, I like without having played it at all, I feel like the inkling to just be like trick, 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 danger, 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 and then you're like, no, I'm not gonna go for the style. I'm just gonna drift on down because
Yeah.
that's my vibe. Like everything doesn't like we're gonna have to fight the urge necessarily to not 100% always just be like, hey, just add the dice, do the thing, like when it feels good, just chill, you know?
But what's cool is I get to add a dice when I just chill. So and like yeah. Yeah. It was tempting to all the playbook choices are so cool in this, and it's hard when you've got 5 different playbook choices and 4 people playing to be like, okay, which is the one we don't take? But yeah, I think everybody's choices are really fun and nice contrast to the between choices for sure.
Yeah, huge star there as well, if only just because like there's I feel like there was when I looked at the playbooks that like Akie and Logan especially that you two were choosing, I was like, ooh, that like I wonder if that's gonna be similar to their between characters. And it was like, no, not at all. Completely different vibes. And that was just really fun to see and really cool to see also like, oh, another wish is just besides seeing us out of like skateboarding or hoverboarding or whatever it is vibe is also like seeing our backgrounds and stuff because we got a little peek of that with Booger and that was like yeah really interesting and that's so I'm excited to see peek into that for Ramona and Nova as well.
What were we gonna say?
Thing just agreed.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, stars to all the characters as always. I love when I just get to sit back and watch you all interact. Love the push and pull right away with like, here's some snacks. Like, no, those are for later. Like, who cares? They're for right now. Like, the immediate conflict and negotiation and um, with very little time on screen, giving us a sense of who these characters are and looking forward to seeing more of that. Um, both on the runs, the way how you approach tricks and how you urge each other to do things, but also in the whole downtime part of this game, seeing more of who you are, who you are when you're not doing these crazy things, when you're around town and you're bored and you have to deal with your family drama. Um, Looking forward to seeing the bonds and some of that faction stuff, or your crew at least. Start everyone for choosing to do that later. I think it's also seconding this. It's perfect to kind of jump in when you're not really sure what you're doing and you're all trying this out for the first time. So it works on both levels when us as players are kind of figuring it out and your characters are. So I think that will be really fun to see everyone come together and start to feel more like in tune. Um, yeah, stars for the voices, stars for all the in-character choices. Every time you guys do it, it's great. The contrast, just echoing what everyone said, the contrast from the between is really fun because we have this brooding, serious atmosphere, and I'm always gonna sneak that in, but it's very refreshing to get something different and not have to overthink it.
Yeah,
Um,
don't worry, we'll get to the brooding.
oh yeah, oh, we're already in like an abandoned mall dungeon crawl. Like I'm happy about that. Monster crab, we're in. Um, Wishes is just to get more comfortable. Like I've read a lot of Blades in the Darkish stuff, but I haven't run it much. So currently, I feel like there's way too many buttons to press and too many things to try to remind you all that you can do. Um, but it does feel very natural. Like you can kind of describe your cool thing, and here's all the ways you can make it extra cool. And um, so I think that'll be really fun to see how you all like take and run with all of those toys in front of you. Um, yeah, and yeah, stars and wishes to just like see how you all help me flesh out this story. It's very improvised, so the runs are like, here's a weird world and here's a obstacle. What do you do about it? But I think it really wants you all to like come up with ideas for runs too. So that would be really cool. Um, just putting that out there. If your character has like found another rumor, maybe in the library or from another Slugblaster of like this next spot you need to go to, and here's the crazy thing that everyone's trying, and like if you have ideas, we can jump right to that. I think that would be super fun as well.
My wish is that
Um,
I want to raid the Slug Blaster verse version of Claire's in this mall and find what's there.
yeah.
And
I'm
maybe
and Hot Topic. We got to stop by Hot Topic.
yeah.
Mhm.
And like maybe that's I don't know. I think like a Slug Blaster universe shopping or looting montage could be a great thing that we
Mhm.
do just before we establish our crew. You know, like once we've got our
Yes,
gear.
yes, yes.
Ooh, that's a
I,
great point. Yeah, yeah,
I need that montage so bad.
yeah. That's good. That really will show us
Once the
like
crab
what
is
kind
dead.
of crew you are. Yeah, yeah. Or out of range or something. Yeah. Um, awesome. Any other stars, wishes, thoughts?
I was going to mention one thing that I forgot once I flip back. I
Mhm.
love that none of us had any idea how we get into these slug blaster dimensions, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I did not
yeah.
expect you, maybe just as a star for you, Gabriel, to be like, so how do you get in there? Like, what? I thought that was the game, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
and that it ends up in a cool place after that where it's like, oh, an accidental like potato chip thing, like, oh yeah, like
yes.
that's
Yeah.
an amazingly 90s thing to open up the bag of potato chips and enter
Yeah.
the other dimension.
It's the
Yeah, yeah,
Monopolies pieces on McDonald's drinks or whatever
yeah.
gets you to slug
I
blaster,
thought
man.
you guys were talking about microchips.
I did too when you
But
said pass me the chips, but I immediately loved how it was like ambiguous and both. So that was great.
I definitely thought it was
Thanks.
potato chips. I was not.
Mm.
I was not at the microchip level there.
In the words
I
of
thought
Ramona, both.
yeah,
All.
yes, exactly. I was like, oh, he means microchips, and then I was like, he might mean potato chips. It all works.
That's also both a star and a wish for me, were the areas where I'm like, man, I know I read this and I don't know where it is, and I really wish I had something cool to say right now. But also it's perfect because us not knowing means we're going to make up something ridiculous in the
Yeah.
moment, and that's very much in the spirit of it. So I really
And
love
it's
that
always
about
better. It's always better.
yes, yeah. Yeah, we're always going to come up with something cooler. So star and wish right there to keep doing that. Um, awesome. Anything else before we stop the recording? Any outro
Hack the
phrases that your
world.
characters say? What's that?
My character says hack the world. Hack the
Oh, no,
world.
perfect. I was gonna say, yeah, do you have like a phrase? Yeah, hack the world.
That might actually
It's
be from
okay.
Hackers. I should probably Google it. They might say
Supporting
It's
our
in
hack the
here
local
world.
now.
dimensional
Yeah.
workers.
Yep.
Mine says bored
I
to
do-
death. That's their like, yeah.
that I do think that, the final scene is as it was
Mm.
described, with all of you guys being like, I dare you to go out in that I dare you to go out the storm, and then me going, guys, because like Snacks is just barking at this crab, and then like dead silence, and you guys all look over, and then Snacks jumps into my backpack, peeks his head out, and is like,
That's great. Love that. On that note, let's wave bye to the camera and I'll stop the recording. Till next time.